works, because I've been having issues with the other one. Alright, before I carry on, how can there be water on the moon if there's no atmosphere? And the form of ice, like in order for, oh, in order for ice to be formed, all right, well, what is water? Speaking of which, I'm making some tea right now. When it's steep. So, let's say, all right, so hydrogen, two hydrogens, one oxygen. Those are both gases. They're both in the gas family. What's miraculous about Earth is that it has an atmosphere in which it's able to condense water. Right? So that's because I think at sea level, the atmosphere presses down at 26.2 or 4 pounds per square inch, and that's why water boils at 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And in higher elevations, recipes have to change. The cooking changes because we have to compensate for the change in the atmosphere because there's not as much air, essentially, to keep it short, pressing down on us on and whatnot. So water boils at lower temperature, and that's why if water goes into a vacuum chamber, it will boil at room temperature because, well, there's nothing condensing it. Well, that being said, how is it that they're claiming that there is water on the moon? It's very possible it's within it because there's geological structures that are able to keep pressure on that. But well, I mean, that's what it comes down to, is that there has to be an atmosphere. And what's actually, like, I mean, that's just what it comes down to. Like, if we're in space, what happens is if we're exposed, the moisture from our lips would start to boil. And it would be evaporated because it's filling space. And that's also why I say that space is, it's not a complete vacuum. The vacuum is full and whatnot. But, anyways, with that being said, if they're trying to find water on the moon, that doesn't make any sense. Then there's no realistic conclusion that can be made from it. That there has to be an atmosphere. There has to be pressure to condense a gas. It doesn't take rocket science to figure that one out. It really doesn't. Pardon me. And just to further elaborate too, the whole point, like, Earth is a magnificent vessel because it's able to trap the condensed water. At the same time, it's able to create clouds and able to create ice all at the same time. It's called triple point. And the thing is that people will argue, oh, well, it's not a controlled situation or blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? It actually is, because there's the atmosphere. And that's the chamber that we live in. And so it is the real picture. All right? That triple point, when something is in three states of matter at the same time, and this also can explain why the oceans are heating up, because there's, just like I was saying about boiling water, there's different atmospheres, and just like the going in a submarine, we go down atmospheres, and when we get to the bottom of the ocean, there's a lot of pressure on there, just like when you jump into the deep end of the pool, and you put your head down and you feel the pressure on your ears. It's a lot. So, and what happens when we press on things? Like, well, look at a snowball. You grab a snowball, which is ice, and even though it's cold outside, you can get some moisture to come out of it, some liquid. So, that's. I mean, look at our engines. Compression, combustion engines. Anyways, so that, like, this whole narrative about there being water on the moon, well, that means that there's either an atmosphere or they're doing something else. And if there's an atmosphere, then why haven't they told us that there's an atmosphere? So they don't even know their own science. By the way, I haven't actually watched this video all the way through, so we're watching it together, and it's kind of interesting that this is proving my point.
By a hostile flag of conquest, but by a banner of freedom and peace. We have vowed that we shall not see space filled with weapons of mass destruction, but with instruments of knowledge and understanding. Yet the vows of this nation can only be fulfilled if we in this nation are first, and therefore we intend to be first.
Let's listen and watch.
Science, please change NIR 1 to OPR 9. Over.
Copy NIR 1 to OPR 9. Command flight, set it up. Is that November or Mike? November. Flight. Or rather, kicked off. Right, Jim Garvin?
Yes, that's one of the ways we can tell. The shepherding spacecraft has instruments in the near-infrared, the mid-infrared, that can detect the signatures of water in different phases, particularly a gas phase. So we'll see how much is there, down to 1%. We can now see the event coming on behind me right now. And then...
And, well, how was the event? And it went white. Oh, doing a probe, or did they nuke it? I mean, well, that almost looked like a nuclear flash.
Other observatories will see the effect after the fact.
What do we just say, Jim? You think we just saw the dust plume?
NIR2 to OPR.
We just saw it.
So
So now we're changing the rates on some of the cameras so we can sample the data well enough to get it back from Earth.
So Jim, when we just saw that white flash, that was the L-Cross shepherding aircraft, as you refer to it, flying into this great big dust cloud.
Right. What we were seeing was the flash of the impact of the big empty upper stage on the moon before.
And so this is
which is Delta V mode, actually is the shepherding spacecraft. It allows us to slew much more quickly, to continue pointing at this suspected Centaur impact for the shepherding spacecraft also impacts the surface of the moon and the last minutes of flight. We're watching the remaining few seconds of the L-Cross mission as we approach very rapidly the surface of the Cabeus crater.
As far as the moon is concerned, I think they found when they got up there that there was already somebody there. And I wouldn't want to say any more than that. But
I was actually trying to find
On
curtain struck.
the
Flight, this is Science. Make the rate changes. MIR 1, 1 hertz. MIR.
What do we just say, Jim? You think we just saw the dust plume?
NIR2 to OPR.
So Jim, this great big
Course of
significance of this today?
spacecraft trajectory as it approaches the lunar surface. We are seeing very
signature of the pulse from the impact, which we expect several.
Thermal signature of the crater.
Okay.
Our cameras. Over.
Great. We're getting the temperature signature of the pulse from the impact, which we expect several hundreds degrees increase in temperature in this very cold place.
and see like okay, so that kind of even or was a kinetic bomb or whatever else. It could definitely do something like that, but I'd almost think that it's more likely that the little L-Cross machine satellite actually possessed a nuclear weapon.
Spacecraft impact. Stations report LOS.
Okay, we've lost signal now on the Shepherd.
ground stations at Goldstone just reported an instruction.
11:35.
Okay.
Go flight. Command flight.
Lunar Crater Observing and Sensing Satellite Mission, where we see the project sign the photo that's placed on the desk, where the sign. Fortunately, it was noted proof that NASA has lied about the nature of its lunar.
So that's could be very easily photoshopped. I don't necessarily believe that, but at the same time, I'm not going to discredit it. The thing is, I just know that we're a bunch of psychopaths, and we've nuked the hell out of our own planet, destroying countless habitats and disrupted weather patterns and this, that, and the other. So I just can't understand why we'd be nuking the moon, unless it is to create an environment or to create an atmosphere. That's what Elon Musk has suggested about colonizing Mars, is to launch a bunch of nukes. Actually, let me see if I can back up my claim real quick. Oops. Nuke Mars, yeah.
to be crazy. Crazy to spend 65 hours making a single suit.
You people have called you the real Tony Stark. Okay, you've got your finger in so many different... trying to do good things, and you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Tesla. I have a Tesla.
Yeah.
Can we show the footage? Yeah, it's a snake charge jacks into...
So I would recommend not dropping anything when you're near it.
Go to Mars, like that men and women should go to Mars.
Yeah.
Why do we want to go to Mars? It's uninhabitable.
It's very inhospitable. That's true.
It is. Like, you have to be in, like, domes and everything, and you're just breathing.
Initially, yes.
Really? How long before we could turn Mars into someplace where we could live?
It is a fixer-upper of a planet. At first, you're going to have to live in transparent domes, but eventually...
Yes, we're going to be huffing each other's stank.
Yeah, but eventually you can transform Mars into an Earth-like planet.
How would you do that?
You'd warm it up. Just warm it up. If you
with
want,
a blanket or with what? How would you warm Mars up? You know, it's a long way away from the sun.
There's the fast way and the slow way.
Okay. Give me the fast way.
The fast way is drop thermonuclear weapons over the poles.
You're a supervillain. That's what a supervillain does.
Yeah.
So there you go. And I don't really care for that guy, but that's cool. All right, y'all. Take care, be safe, be kind, stay strong. Love y'all.